1 of the 2025 Southern Conference Women's Basketball Championships. We're now joined by the Chattanooga Mocs. We have with us head coach Deandra Shermer, along with student athletes Brooke Anya and Carson Murphy. We'll have an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions. If you have a question, just raise your hand. We have a mic for you to ask your question. With that, Coach, the floor is yours.
Yeah, coming into this tournament, we were looking to rely on our defense. We always talk about defense wins championships. And we talked about whether shots are falling or not. You know, a tournament atmosphere, sometimes it's hard to hit shots. And we thought that our defense was going to carry us. And I really feel like that's how we won the game today. We held them to a scoreless 7 minutes in the second quarter, and that's really where we were able to bust it open and control the game from there. I think that Mercer deserves a lot of credit. They were fighting to the very end, and in the third quarter, obviously came out ready to go, and we've got to do better at being locked in for the entire 40 minutes. But that's tournament basketball, and I'm just really proud of our group and the poise that we showed. When things weren't going our way, we were able to, I think they cut it down to 14 there in the third quarter, but Brooke came up with a big charge, and we were able to make winning play after winning play and then really bust it back out.
Questions from the room, front row?
Coach, you mentioned the defense and the stats in the second quarter. How do you kind of keep that defensive intensity up throughout the 40 minutes? And also, what did you like most about the way that you guys were crashing the glass specifically early?
Yeah, rebounding was a big focus for us, and I think that a lot of times we've done a fantastic job of defending to scout. We know their sets, we know what we're taking away, but it's the in-between plays, it's the rebounding, it's the when a player tries to go 1v1, how are we going to respond? And I think, you know, we kind of were feeling them out in the first quarter, and then in that second quarter we really bared down and we got it done. And I think that both of these players have really shown how talented they are defensively, but it's really our communication on the defensive end that drives us. You know, we need to defend as 5. So if everybody's talking, communicating, and they know their role, then they're able to step up and do their job, and we're all able to get that stop and push out. And that also, our defense led to our offense, which really was where we were able to score in that second as well.
More questions from the room? Go ahead.
Carson, I think on that jump ball, that was probably the most amped up I've ever seen you. What's going through your mind at that moment, you know, when it gets not necessarily super close, but like, you know?
I mean, no matter what the score is out there, it's a tournament game. It's win or go home, and I think that's just the mindset we have to have going into every game, no matter if we're up by 20, down by 20, you know, no matter what it is. So I think just in that moment, it was kind of like, Chattanooga's here, we're ready to roll, and we still got 2 more games ahead of us.
More questions from the room? Oh, Jim. We can come back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. She had 2 in a row. Go ahead.
I want to, for players, do you guys, I know it wasn't this team that won a championship last year, but do you feel that defending Southern Conference champion pressure at all, even though it's the first game of the tournament? Start with Brooke.
I wasn't a part of that team, but
Right.
I've been in a championship program before, and we're very much capable. And I don't think we really feel that stress, because if you haven't noticed, a lot of people have doubted us from the beginning. And I think we're just coming out with something to prove. Like, you guys all looked down on us, and now here we are.
Don't give this you guys.
No,
Don't
not
go
towards
there.
you.
We're coming for
It's a
everybody.
general statement.
You might catch us straight, we're coming for everybody.
But we definitely, we're here. Like Carson said earlier, it's like we're Chat, and, you know, watch out.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for sure, I definitely have that chip on my shoulder coming in. I'm a reigning defending champ, back to back, for sure. But also, Chattanooga's program. I mean, if you look how many championships they won, no matter who's on our team, who's on our roster, we have a big shoes to fill, for sure. But also, we can't come in with that pressure either. You know, it's one game at a time, no matter who's on the roster, who we got. And yeah, I mean, we got pick 6 this year. We got something to prove. So just because we aren't the same team as last year doesn't mean we can't go win it again.
Coach D, just your first Southern Conference tournament game. Talk about that.
Oh, I love tournament time. I was talking to them, it's desperate basketball, you know? And you see the rebounding, you see the diving on the floor, you see the first game of the day was very close, you know, with the top seed. And so I love tournament basketball because it brings out the best in everybody, whether that's our players, whether that's our staff. Our fans were fantastic today. They talked a lot when I was going through the interview process of how amazing our fans are, and I cannot speak to you can't even describe Chattanooga, the support that we have from our community is what fuels us. When they talk about it's the Chattanooga women's basketball program, that's because of our fans and our community who has supported us. We wouldn't be here without the support that they have. We're heading off onto the bus and we got a whole bunch of our supporters out there cheering us on. They feel that. So when it's a Tuesday in February and they don't feel like coming to practice, they're not gonna let our Chattanooga community down. They're not gonna let our fans down. They're not gonna let our donors down. And we know we're playing for something bigger than us. We're not just playing for our fans, we're also playing for the players that have come before us, our alums, all that. We're in Chattanooga means something, and we know that. And I think that, you know, we were ranked 6th coming into it, and everybody was like, oh, good job, you finished 2nd. No, we're not trying to finish 2nd. We're trying to win this thing. And we know what the deal is, and we know what our goal is, and it hasn't changed from day one. And I think what drives us and what's driven us this entire year to be resilient, to go through everything that we've gone through, is our fans and our community, and we just want to make them proud night in and night out.
Time for one more if anyone has one. Yep, front row.
Coach Masha checked in the second quarter. Obviously, she hasn't gotten a whole lot of minutes this season. Why did you decide to go to her in that moment, and what does it say that, you know, you trust her in a situation like this?
We know that we're going to need everybody to win a championship. We know that one of our biggest weaknesses is our depth, and we've been talking about earning minutes in practice, and Masha's practiced really, really well this week. And she's also a very talented player. You know, when they go zone, she's a knockdown shooter. And so for us, it's finding those X factors that can come in and give us good minutes. And I thought she played great, and I'm really proud of her.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. To you and your athletes, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.